Alright guys, the moment is finally here, and it's been certainly prepared for. Now, let's talk about Gotham. This has been hyped up for months, and, pretty much a year, and everyone's been talking about it. It's been so hyped up, so does the pilot live up to the hype? I don't know, personally, because for me, I didn't like this episode, but I didn't hate it. It's just a meh episode for me. Now, don't get me wrong, this episode was in no means made me go, wow, this is terrible, but there were some points where I was like, man, this is just, they are trying too hard. They are really trying too hard. But then again, I always give every show, especially comic book shows, the benefit of the doubt, because Arrow, first season was kind of hard to get through, then it got its winter break, and then it was really good, and now season 2 was awesome, and we're all excited for season 3. Then you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was like, I liked the first 2 episodes, then it kind of sucked, and then it got its second win when it got its winter break. So that's kind of my thing, is that I shouldn't be judging shows right off the bat from one pilot episode. Maybe it'll catch its wind in the later episodes. I hope. But let's get into this episode. The episode, like everyone said, the pilot is pretty much James Gordon and Harvey Bullock trying to figure out who killed Bruce Wayne's parents. And here's the thing. Here's my biggest gripe with the episode. My biggest gripe with the episode is that it's trying way too hard to remind you that this is Gotham City. This is like it's a comic book show. It tries way too hard because it throws in all these Easter eggs just in one episode. You see Riddler, you see Penguin. We already kind of figured Penguin would be the episode, but yeah, you see, you kind of see the Joker. It's let's face it, that kid that Jada Pinkett Smith's character was laughing at on stage, being the comedian. I'm like, and he was in a green and kind of purple suit, and I was like, that's the Joker, isn't it? So, you have Catwoman in here, you have a young Selina Kyle, of course you had Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth, but that's kind of necessary. But it feels like everyone else is just kind of thrown in here for the sake of reminding you, this is Gotham City, everyone's in here! So that was my biggest gripe with the entire episode. That it was trying way too hard to remind you that this was a comic book show and a Batman show, more or less. Well, comic book show, Batman is a comic, duh. You know what I mean. So that's kind of the thing. That is kind of the deal. Now there are some really good points in this episode. I love how this episode is shot. I love the cinematography. I love how kind of it does feel like a very grimy, kind of disgusting kind of city, and we have all these different places in Gotham that they've kind of touched on. And what I also like in here is I think Donald Luge is it Donald Logue or is it Luge or Logue? The actor playing Harvey Bullock. I think he's the best thing in this episode. I think he's, honest to God, the best thing, and he's probably the best cast for this series. I think he was the best cast, and he definitely knocks it out of the park as Harvey Bullock. He plays the cynic, he plays kind of the rough and tumble kind of character, and he really hits home of how he doesn't, this isn't a nice world anymore. I really like that. So definitely, the actor playing Harvey Bullock, I think Bullock is the best thing about this. Let's talk about Ben McKenzie as James Gordon. He's all right. I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all. But he's not like I'm not going to say like he's no Gary Oldman. Well, duh, that was a movie, and Gary Oldman's a huge actor. But I'm not going to try to compare him to Gary Oldman or anyone else that's come before him as Jim Gordon. I'm going to judge him on his own as an actor. I think he's good, but I think it's going to take a while to grow on me because, for the most part, he just kind of has this stoic face on him the whole time, and this kind of very monotone type voice. And I know he can emote better acting and better emotions because I've seen him in, what was that other show? Southland. I've seen him in Southland. He's phenomenal in Southland. So I was kind of like, oh, he's perfect, and I find it also hilarious. The irony is not lost on me that he is back in a Batman show after he voiced Batman in the Year One animated film. So that's not lost on me. But that's kind of the thing, is that well, we have him, but he doesn't feel like he's emoting enough emotion right here. I mean, he just sounds kind of, like I said, monotone and everything else. But he's not terrible. It's going to take me a while to grow on me. I don't mind that he doesn't have the mustache, unlike someone else I know, Julio Vibbs. The mustache, yeah, it's a part of his character, but who's to say he won't get it later on? He won't get the mustache, and I know people, but that's not keeping me from hating his character. I don't hate him, but I don't like. I looked at him and go like, you're gonna take a while to grow on me. Who else? Who else in this? Who else should I talk about? Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith's character, Fish Mooney. I know she's an original character, and I was like, okay, I can deal with an original character, because we don't know what other crime bosses were in Gotham before Batman. I don't mind that. But here's the thing with Fish Mooney's character. I mean, yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith's character, the Fish Mooney. She is generic as all hell. I'm serious. Like, she's trying to emote being... this dark and sinister, everything is in the palm of her hand, kind of twisted character, but she just kind of comes off as just super generic. I'm like, I've seen characters like this in other TV shows, and they do it better than you. So, my kind of hypothesis right now, my theory right now of Season 1 is that we're going to see the rise and fall of Fish Mooney and Cobblepot taking over her part of the business. So that's how I kind of see, is that Fish Mooney's only going to be in one season. I don't know if she signed on for a second season, or maybe she did, because I heard somewhere that several of the characters signed on for a second season of Gotham, which is going to be on Netflix apparently. So maybe she'll be in season 2. Damn, I think I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. So, but yeah, as it stands, I'm just like, yeah, you're here. You're just here. But there are, everyone in here, it just kind of gives a performance that is, and there are other characters in here. We get Detective Allen and Montoya, which I was like, the moment they showed up, I was like, yay! Oh, you're just here for being here. Damn it. But they do kind of set up something else with Barbara Keene, Gordon's fiancée, and they kind of set up that maybe that her and Montoya had a relationship. They kind of insinuate that in a scene, which was kind of like, okay, interesting. I'm not against it. I'm just like, that's never been done before, so I wonder how you're going to do that. But the thing is that the whole episode is just about Gordon trying, the last honest man in a dishonest city. And I like that angle. But here's the thing, it doesn't really feel like a detective story. It doesn't really feel like that. It just feels like, oh, here's one little shred of evidence. Here's one little thing. Now we got to go do this. Oh, it's a frame. And it just feels like everything is it feels kind of reactionary to me. Everything that happens to Gordon and Bullock just feels kind of reactionary. And is reactionary a word? I don't know. Everything just feels like it happens to them when they just come upon it. You know what I mean? I mean, there is some detectives work in here, but it's not like this very complex kind of wire that I was kind of looking forward to, because I feel like they just kind of shove that aside to have these little moments, like when Oswald is beating up a guy with a baseball bat, and he's like, "How does that feel, Penguin?" It's just like the whole episode stops, and it's almost like the episode stops everything, looks at you, and goes, we said Penguin, That's what it feels like. But again, there are some good things in here. But the thing is with this story is that I just felt like I wasn't kind of hooked into it, Let me also talk about the young actor playing Bruce Wayne. I like him for the one episode he's in, but I haven't seen enough of him. Maybe I'll like him less in the later episodes, or like him more. I already, right off the bat, like Alfred. Now, and it's not just because he's the son of one of the doctors. He's not just the son of John Pertwee. No, of course. Who am I kidding? But I've seen him in Dog Soldiers, and he's awesome in there. And he was really good for the moments he's in here as Alfred. I kind of like the haggard, kind of strict Alfred in here. And he's also very sarcastic as well. So I really do like that. So Alfred's really good here. Bruce Wayne, he's good. I want to see more of him, though. And they're kind of building up to him running into Selina, which I'm kind of curious about. Because we saw Selina, but all she did was like, ooh, I'm skulking through the shadows and doing some pickpocketing and, looking like, being an Altair kid. That made no sense. Just, she does a lot of Assassin's Creed shit. I know she's a cat burglar, but they just have her, pose, crouching around and posing, are you trying to be, a DLC for Assassin's Creed? Okay. So, it's just kind of mobile, she just kind of moves around and doesn't really say anything, so I'm wondering how she's going to be, as that character. They also have Ivy in here, because, again, the name just shows up, it was what's your name? Ivy. Again, it feels like the whole episode stops and goes, It's the same thing with Nigma. They have Edward Nigma in here as forensics, and he's just giving off riddles, and it's again almost like the episode stops what it's doing and goes, do you like us? It's Batman. Do you like us? That's what it feels like. I didn't hate this episode. I know I sound like I hated this episode. I really know I sounded like I hated this episode, but I didn't. It wasn't the greatest thing. It just felt okay to me. It was just okay, let's see what happens in the next episode. And again, I didn't like Arrow when it first started out. I didn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it first started out, although, that ending kind of left me that ending of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of left me wanting, but let's see how Season 2 does. But, excuse me, with Arrow, it was kind of that was kind of thing, Arrow kind of sucked when not sucked, because I know people liked the first half of first season, but me personally, I didn't really care for the first season, the first few episodes of Season 1 of Arrow, and it wasn't until the winter break where I was like, oh, it does kick ass, wow. So, I'm going to get, and I never, when this was first announced, I never once said, oh, this is gonna suck. I never said that, because I was kind of hopeful for it, through and through. I really was hopeful for this show, and I still want to be hopeful. But it's not really inspiring a lot of confidence. But I am going to stick with this show regardless. I am going to stick with this show, and I am thinking about doing episode reviews. So you guys in the comments section below just tell me, should I do episode reviews of Gotham? And I am thinking about that. I'm also going to be doing episode reviews of TMNT Season 3, Sleepy Hollow Season 2, The Flash, Arrow. I'm finally doing Arrow reviews. Arrow episode reviews. And I'm feeling like I'm forgetting something here. No, I think that's it. So yeah, might as well announce that I'm doing those kind of episode reviews right here. So yeah. But I'm kind of curious. Do you guys think I should keep doing episode reviews on Gotham? Because that's kind of this was kind of the bigger of the two things Fox had announced was, Sleepy Hollow Season 2 and, Gotham was the bigger of the two big shows coming out. So, yeah. Anyway, not really much else. Oh, yeah, let me talk about another thing I liked about this episode. Carmine Falcone shows up, which is, I was kind of like, I'm excited for you, and I've never been excited for Carmine Falcone. Yeah, well, Long Halloween's a different story. But, anyway. Where was I going with this? Because my mind just went blank again. No, Carmine Falcone shows up in this episode in the most badass way possible. And the actor in here, playing Carmine Falcone, gives off this very cold, very suave, and very just dark and confident persona that you imagine Falcone would have. And it comes off so well, and I'm like, why couldn't we have just stuck with you? Why do we have this fish character? You're And we find out that Fish Mooney isn't really a crime boss. She's more like, I guess she's kind of more like a lieutenant to Falcone. And you can clearly see that, she wants to be the bigger, she wants to have a bigger piece of the pie, aka she wants Falcone's job. And that was kind of that's the thing that's going on. And so I kind of wish there was a part of me, because when Falcone shows up, and granted it's a short moment, and there's a very interesting exchange between him and Gordon, and yeah, there was a moment I was just thinking to myself, man, kind of wish they didn't have this Fish Mooney character and just stuck with Falcone. It would have been I think I would have had more investment into this. But yeah, if anything, I'm going to stick for Bullock, Falcone, and Gordon's at the number 3 spot of the characters I'm liking so far. Well, 4th place goes to Alfred. Anyway, so yeah, not a lot else I can say other than I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. It's just I just walked away going, meh. I didn't like it or hate. I didn't absolutely love it, but I didn't hate it either. I was just kind of like, let's see if it does. Let's see what happens in the next episode. That's really all I can say. Anyway, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode? And also, I really want to know, should I do reviews on Gotham? Yeah, did you guys like this episode? Did you guys